guys, we're back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. So Cardi B has subliminally set her lapdogs after Doechii. Now a fan asked, why do y'all take it so personally when people do not like Doechii? And someone responded and said, because people don't give Gorilla Glue, Cardi B, or any other light-skinned rapper that much heat for being successful. I don't care what nobody says. The hate she gets is thinly veiled colorism. Okay? Now, Cardi B reposted a fan responding to that tweet saying the same Cardi B that folks accused of payola when the love in real life was evident, the same Gorilla Glue that people were saying she fell off within a year of her popping off. I get the sentiment, but the examples aren't exampling. And now, allegedly, we see Cardi B fans now dragging Doechii, okay? Because a lot of people were saying, well, Cardi B was popping, y'all weren't accusing her of payola. And that was low-key true. Here's the thing. Nicki Minaj and the Barbs accused Cardi B of using payola. But it wasn't the general public. There's a lot of people on social media and the general public that are not necessarily Barbs that are accusing Doechii of using payola. And she might be, okay? But I will say that nobody had the same energy for Cardi B. Don't we find it weird that Cardi B was on top of the world and now that every time she drops music recently, it flops? That's not weird to anybody. What about the payola that Cardi B was getting? Gorilla Glue, same thing, low-key. I believe Gorilla Glue was getting a little payola. You know, she just released a few records a few weeks ago and nobody cares about them. Okay? And, you know, they sound similar to Yeglo, so why aren't those records popping off? I do believe that a lot of different female rappers do get payola, but of course, because Doechii won a Grammy and she didn't really have no hits before she won the Grammy, I think that's why people are coming after her. Because, you know, that mixtape she dropped, Alligator Bites Never Heal, I think, you know, people felt like, well, that album wasn't even successful to win anything. Like, nobody was talking about any of those records on that album. But I think it was because it was critically acclaimed. That's why, you know, they felt like she deserved to win because it was critically acclaimed. And on top of that, Doechii's very talented. But I see both sides. I do feel like Doechii's using payola. I definitely feel like she is. Is no shade. I just don't believe she's outstreaming Nicki Minaj and Doja Cat. I just don't believe that. But I feel like people are only calling it out because she's dark-skinned, because y'all wasn't calling out Cardi B, Gorilla Glue like that when they were on top of the world. Y'all wasn't even calling out Ice Spice. Ice Spice has like 1/10 of Doechii's talent and was everywhere at one moment in time until people felt like her attitude was stank towards Nicki Minaj and Cleopatra. Now, Doja Cat is teasing her comeback for her next album called Vi. It looks like she has taken some pictures for the promotion for her next era, and she look good. The hair is giving Grace Jones. The body is bodying, okay? Titties are sitting up. So I think, you know, these are really good promo pictures, and hopefully she gets a lot of success with the next era. I feel like, you know, Doja Cat's another one of them that's very talented. So, you know, she gets payola too. People don't really call it out as much. Only the Barbs do. But because, you know, she likes skin. Let's be very clear. But I'm excited for Doja Cat's next era. Now, moving on to Nicki Minaj. Jess Hilarious had this to say about Nicki in her recent interview with Shannon Sharp.
Is it true Nicki unfollowed you because of one of your videos?
I don't know why she unfollowed me, but I know she had reposted me a few times listening to some of her music that she dropped, and then unfollowed me. I feel people unfollowed me though. But yeah, I don't know the reason why. I don't be like, why
But
you
you know,
do
you
that?
can't be going back and forth with them barbs on social media, though, Jess.
I don't go back and forth with them. They go back and forth with themselves.
Oh, you don't? So you don't respond on social media? You don't go back?
Not anymore.
Oh,
you haven't seen. You can't find a comment that I done commented on, and since what did I say? I think back in 2023.
Now, why is messy ass Jess with the mess talking about Nicki Minaj in her interview? What does Nicki unfollowing you got to do with anything? This is why you almost lost your job to Lauren, okay? Because you just be talking about nonsense. But you don't have much going on with your career, and I guarantee you the Breakfast Club, after your contract expires, they're not going to renew it. So, of course, you got to attach yourself to Nicki Minaj, but they're trying to push a narrative that Nicki Minaj is bitter. That's why they're talking about this. They want to continue to push the narrative that Nicki Minaj is bitter, and she gonna play dumb like she didn't say Nicki Minaj tour tickets weren't selling, okay? Didn't she say that on the Breakfast Club? And she wondered why Nicki Minaj don't mess with her? I don't know why she unfollowed me. Of course you don't, dummy. The same reason why you don't know why the Breakfast Club is trying to replace you with Lauren. Okay? You don't know anything. But what I do know is you're unprofessional. You don't got much going on with your career. That's why you got to resort to talking about Nicki Minaj. That's what it's given. Now, moving off from that, though, fans are also calling out Nicki for not paving the way for female rappers. A lot of people on social media are saying that it was Cardi B that opened the door for female rappers, not Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj opened the door for herself. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. I disagree. Nicki Minaj opened the door for Iggy, okay? Iggy was right after Nicki. Dej Loaf was popping. Young M.A. was popping around the same time as Nicki Minaj. Y'all only cared about Nicki. She was the most successful one. She's still the most successful female rapper to this day. But the fact of the matter is, there were other female rappers out when Nicki Minaj came into the game, okay? And she dominated for 10 years. Let's be very clear. Now, moving on from that, is Miley copying Beyonce? She put out this trailer for her next era. Her album is coming May 30th. A lot of people are hoping that she is getting a Queen Bee collaboration, but fans are also noticing that she's basically putting out a film, okay? That's what she's teasing, a bunch of music videos for all 13 songs that she will be releasing. Similar to what Beyonce did with the Beyonce album and Lemonade, okay? She did that and the Lion King film. So a lot of fans are saying, interesting, is she taking inspiration from Beyonce and trying to put out music videos for every song like Beyonce did? Okay, and then, people are noticing that in the trailer, the music sounds like it's going to be like rock pop, but Miley has done that before. No shade. She has done that before. I don't think she's copying Queen Bee by doing a rock, theme album, because she's done rock before. But I definitely feel like she is copying Queen Bee's rollout when Queen Bee released music videos for every song. She's done that for 2 albums, and she did like a surprise drop. Purdue Chicken can't do no surprise drop. Okay, she don't have that. She don't have that type of fans to do no surprise drop, so she wouldn't be doing that. But the 13 music videos, that's definitely giving Queen Bee-esque. I definitely feel like she's influenced by Queen Bee. Now, Ghetto Red, please come to the front of the congregation. It has been reported that Sexy Ghetto Red is being sued for $5 million by her child's grandmother after allegedly encouraging fans to attack her at her home. The grandmother, Nicole Barnes, claims Sexy shared her address to social media, instructing her followers to kick in the door. I'm What? The kick in the door? Is the door broken or something? How you gonna kick in the door? Is the door broken? Does she still live in the hood? I think Sexyy probably still got her living in the hood. But anyway, she said of her home and do her and her family harm. Barnes says she took threats seriously enough to relocate from her Missouri home out of safety concerns, but claims she hasn't been able to find a home she can afford. Wow. Sexyy Red, when was this? When did this happen? But I'm not shocked. Sexyy, very ghetto, very ratchet. I can see her doing something like that. I can see her doing absolutely something like that. Here's my thing with Sexyy Red. Was it worth it, dummy? Okay, because now she definitely has a case. Okay? And you're going to have to cough up $5 million that I don't think Sexyy Red got liquidated. I think she probably has made $5 million, but she probably only got like $500,000 in her account because Sexyy Red like to splurge. She always got them ratchet ass big diamond necklaces. She got the expensive purses and wigs and stuff. I really don't think that she got $5 million to give this grandmother. Okay, I think she might have $1,500,000 liquidated. So she probably gonna have to sell some stuff. Okay, or sell that cootie cat. But Sexyy, you dead wrong for this. You're wrong. Why would you do that to that old lady like that? Okay, did she piss you off? Did she say you wasn't raising your children right? Because that's probably what happened. She probably told Sexyy, listen, I don't like the way you raising the children. Okay? I don't like the way you move. You're not a role model. Okay? Very ratchet, very ghetto. I think Sexyy Red got like 2 or 3 baby daddies. So, the grandmother probably told her about herself and Sexyy Red wasn't having it. Okay? So, donkey of the day to Sexyy Ghetto Red. This is unacceptable. You should know better. Now, moving on to CC. It looks like Ciara is gearing up to release her new single, Ecstasy, April 4th. Let me know if you guys will be tuning in. I listened to the snippet, and it do sound kind of fire. Okay? I like when Ciara makes them slow, sexy songs, and she looked thick. Okay? But she got like 4 children. But it looks like she getting thick over there. Okay? But I'm definitely going to be tuning in to see what Ciara is going to be cooking up. I think Ciara is a phenomenal performer. Well, I wouldn't say phenomenal. She's a good performer. But I wouldn't say she's a phenomenal performer. She's no Queen Bee. But I do like her music, okay? She used to have classic back in the day. Now her new music, it ain't that great. But she used to have classics back in the day. But hopefully this record pops off. Now, Queen Lana is also dropping a record called Henry Come On. Okay, so I think that this record going to be fire too. I like Lana Del Rey. Okay, Lana Del Rey, I feel like she's extremely underrated. People don't give Lana her flowers. Okay, I wonder why that is. I think it's the type of music she makes. When you think about it, she makes that alternative pop music. She also is one of the pioneers for whisper singing. She got a lot of sons. She got Billie Eilish as a son. She got Selena Gomez as a son. She made whisper pop very popular. Okay. Especially in the 2010s. So, I'm going to be tuning into this record too. Now, moving on to Gaga. Gaga announced that she will be doing an arena tour. She said, I wasn't planning to tour this year after my shows in Singapore, but the incredible response to the new album inspired me to keep things going. It came together super quickly thanks to Arthur and the amazing team at Live Nation, who planned a global tour in just a few weeks. We chose arenas this time to give me the opportunity to control the details of the show in a way you simply can't in stadiums. And honestly, I can't wait. This show is designed to be the kind of theatrical and electrifying experience that brings mayhem to life, exactly how I envisioned it. The Mayhem Ball tour is officially coming your way. See you soon, monsters, okay? So Gaga announced that she will be going on tour and that she can't do stadiums because she's not going to sell them out. So there's no point of doing a stadium. And before y'all say, oh, Gaga can do a stadium, she's done one in the past, blah, blah, blah. Well, in 2022, she didn't, okay? So she went on tour, I believe, in 2022 or 2021, a few years ago. And that was an arena tour too, okay? Now, it's not bad that Gaga can't do stadiums, but she can't, and she knows that. That's why she had to throw that in there. Because she knew she was going to get dragged, considering that Queen Bee and Kung Fu Kenny and SZA are doing stadium tours. She knew she was going to get dragged. So she had to throw that in there like, oh, I want to be able to, have creative control. That's why I don't want to do stadiums. Queen Bee have creative control and she does stadiums. So I don't really think that was the reason. The reason why you're not doing a stadium tour is because you can't sell it out. I think that's the reason. No shade. And you don't want to get dragged by the beehive. She knows the fans are going to be learned. I still think Gaga is an icon. So this is not shade because I think Gaga is an icon. She's like the Madonna of our generation. She's a global superstar. She's performed at the Super Bowl. She deserves all her flowers. But the point of the matter is right now she's not as hot as she used to be. And she knows that. So that's what I'm trying to say. Now, why is Ronald McDonald trying to do a collaboration with SZA? Clownface went on Call Her Daddy podcast and said that SZA is her dream collaboration. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. No, she's not. Okay? Listen, Chappell, Clownface, Ronald McDonald, Roan, please stay away from SZA. Okay, I think you're a little bit problematic. No shade to Chappell Roan, but she be doing a little bit too much. She be complaining too much and going back and forth with paparazzi or the cameraman at red carpet. She do too much for me. And I just don't think she's all that, to be quite honest. I can't wait for her to fall off. The point of the matter is we do not need this collaboration. Thankfully, SZA is going on tour, so hopefully she won't have time to do the collaboration. But this is a no for me, okay? Clownface needs to stick to doing white collaborations and stay away from black people. I think she's a bad influence, and she has a nasty attitude, okay? Just for me, I just think her attitude is nasty. She's always yelling or getting an attitude with somebody when they want a picture. She yelling at the paparazzi. She be doing too much a little bit, so she need to sit down. Your 15 minutes is almost up, so use it wisely. And we don't need this collaboration. But anyway, I got some hot tea on Patreon. Link will be in the description. And have a great day.